On Friday, March 2nd, the calendar bade Mrs. Bihl to go in to teach the first grade. She walked into her room and up to her desk and started to plan for her nice first grade guests. She was thinking and typing when she was surprised to see Mr. Craig with a box twice the size of anything he'd ever brought in before. He rolled in the box and walked right out the door. Now, Mrs. Bihl couldn't guess what was brought in, but a box of that size, well, there never had been. And as she walked toward it, she heard scratches and knocks. But curiosity made her open the box. Out sprang a thing with blue hair. He immediately jumped up on a green chair, grabbed Mrs. Bihl's hair and swung on her bun, and that's the way that Mrs. Bihl met Thing 1. Mrs. Bihl was quite shocked. She shook her head fast. Thing 1 fell to the floor, then quickly rolled past Mrs. Bihl's feet, but she hadn't a clue. Thing 1 rolled back to the box and let out Thing 2. Thing 1 and Thing 2 dodged out to the side. Mrs. Bihl darted after. "I must catch them," she cried. "These things are so wild. They're much quicker than me." Then, much to her horror, out popped Thing 3. Things 1, 2, and 3 ran through the classroom, followed by sounds of crash, bam, and boom. As the furniture flew, Miss Bihl shut the door. But when she turned around, there was Thing 4. Thing 4 joined the others in zipping about. Mrs. Bihl covered her head and let out a shout. "Oh my goodness, my land, my gracious, my heavens." Then out of the box came Thing 5, 6, and 7. The things climbed on chairs, they were jumping on tables. Miss Bihl wasn't sure she would ever be able to catch all 7 things before it was too late. The box opened once more and out popped Thing 8. Thing 8 was now followed by Things 9 and 10. Just as Miss Bihl feared, the box opened again. Thing 11, Thing 12, Things 13 and 14, the box shook, and Mrs. Bihl let out one more scream, because her classroom was wrecked. Every crayon was broke. The 14 things were using pencils to poke each other, Mrs. Bihl, and everything in between. And Thing 15, Thing 16, and Thing 17. And now these things uprooted the green science plants. They emptied the bookshelves with never a glance at the books they tossed or the puppets they threw. Now Mrs. Bihl knew just what she had to do. She fled to her phone, her fingers shook as she dialed. She spoke to somebody as the things got more wild. Mrs. Bihl pushed and shoved her way to the door. She knew the things didn't know what was in store. As they pushed the computers and unplugged them all, Mrs. Bihl heard some footsteps out in the hall. The door opened wide and closed with a smack, and there in the doorway stood an upset Miss Mac. "What are you doing?" Miss Mac calmly said. Everything froze directly and turned his blue head to listen to orders, no matter the cost, because even wild things must obey a wise boss. "Clean up this mess. I'm simply quite shocked, and after it's sparkling, get back in your box." So the things picked up, rebuilt, and cleaned until Miss Bill's classroom was the best ever seen. Then back in the box filed the things on tired legs, said Miss Mac. "Now be sure to call Mr. Craig." Mr. Craig came back and made the box stable on his dolly to take it. Then he checked the label. "Why did you bring that box here?" Mrs. Bihl questioned. "What was your reason? Who gave you direction?" Mr. Craig smiled. "I know just how you felt. This box was intended for Mrs. Farmelt. I'll take it there now. She's wondering where her big order is and why it's not there." Mrs. Bihl watched him leave and thought, "Now that I'm done, I hope Mrs. Farmelt is ready for 17 things and some fun."